history nerds and historians. My name is Krystina and this is Effed Up Cryptozoology. This is where we talk about a tidbit about a cryptid that's super fucked up. This is a cryptid I did not even know existed until this year when I took a random quiz on social media to figure out what cryptid I am. It reminded me very much of the OG BuzzFeed days when I was in college many moons ago. This cryptid that we're going to talk about today is called the Fresno Nightcrawler, and apparently it's a more popular one because I also got it from a box lunch blind bag cryptid pin thing that I bought on a whim as a last minute impulse buy. Hey, speaking of segues, I have social media and I love to see you on there. I too am an elusive cryptid on there where you might see a freak appearance and then I'll disappear again for months on end. You'll swear that you saw my new post. You'll tell people about it. No one will believe you, but you'll know the truth. You'll know the truth. I also have a Patreon, but that's besides the point. Let's talk about the Fresno Nightcrawler. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and practice your, oh good God, what the fuck faces. So like I said, this is kind of a newer cryptid, or it's one that I didn't know existed. And the reason why I didn't know that it existed is because it's kind of a newer cryptid. So the first sighting was in November of 2007 in the eponymous Fresno, California. A man named Jose, no last name, which is just always a great sign. It gives the story a total authenticity that you just don't find in those authentic academic sources. So anyway, Jose No Name is at home and it's the middle of the night and Jose's dogs just start going wild and his security camera, his security system is going off, and he goes to check the camera, the feed from his security system, thinking maybe someone's trying to break into his house or something like that. But instead he sees a strange creature that he compares to a pair of white pajama pants walking through his lawn. So the creature was about 2 to 3 feet tall with long legs making up most of the entirety of its body. And it had no arms and a head, but it wasn't very distinguished from the rest of its body. It pretty much was a head with no torso and then just 2 legs on the bottom of it. He ended up showing it to his brother, who said that when he went outside to investigate, he saw small footprints outside as well. Jose then sent this security footage to a local TV station, who called in a paranormal investigator named Victor Camacho to see if he could authenticate the footage. Camacho went and interviewed Jose No Name and looked into the whole thing himself, but he wasn't able to conclusively say one way or another if this was authentic or fake. This footage was later shown on the History Channel show Fact or Faked, which just totally sounds like really authentic history show, which is where the Fresno Nightcrawler gained a lot of its attention. And Fact or Faked too was not able to figure out if this was actually a real video or not. The next time a sighting was reported was in March of 2011 at Yosemite National Park, which is about 60 miles away from Fresno, California. So there had been some vandalism in the park recently. So the security guards had set up some cameras and caught these strange creatures. The video is available on YouTube. I'll link it in the description, but it shows 2 of these creatures walking slowly. It honestly looks like a full-grown one and a juvenile. They're walking with this wide step, and I was trying to figure out exactly how to describe it. They look like if you were to take a large pair of pants and pull them all the way up to your neck and then tuck your arms in on the sides, and the way that the way that they're walking is almost like their knees are to the side, like how your elbows are, you know? So it kind of looks like how like some apes will use their arms to like walk forward on and like not really use their legs. It kind of looks like that with how the legs are moving. But there's no arms or legs or anything. It's just literally a head and these weird legs, and it's totally super convincing. I'm not convinced at all really about it, but I'm also not an expert on doctored video footage and the like. I'm a historian that's taking a break from history and doing silly fun times. So that's the last time that the Fresno Nightcrawler is seen in California. But on December 12th, 2014, a 6-year-old unnamed witness, because again, we like to be convincing with our reports, he saw a strange creature in Carmel, Ohio, that began being called the Carmel area creature. So Mr. No Name, who claims to be a former Marine, said that he and his wife saw a 7-foot tall, slender, grayish white creature with backwards knees, is how he describes it. He said that they were having some weird occurrences on this property that they had just moved on to. And it's mainly the problem that they were having is that there was this like perfect circle in their lawn that no matter what the weather was and what they did to it, this like perfect circle of grass was always there, which to me like doesn't sound like anything Fresno Nightcrawler-y. To me that sounds like Fae trying to like bring you into a fairy circle where you'll like disappear forever, which honestly sounds great sometimes, honestly. But it wasn't really too weird until he and his wife had this sighting of this creature walking across the road. They never saw it again. They couldn't figure out what caused this like weird grass patch, but they did see this weird white tall creature with backwards knees. There were apparently other sightings in Ohio as well, but I couldn't really find anything about it to tell you, which makes my story super convincing. The Fresno Nightcrawler / Carmel creature / something was also apparently seen in Poland, but it was something recorded on someone's phone, and it wasn't really a very long video. It was really shaky, so people couldn't really fully make out what they were seeing. And the last recorded sighting that we have of this kind of creature was apparently in Billings, Montana on April 25th, 2020, when it was captured on home surveillance footage by someone who is not named, because I'm totally a reliable narrator. It hasn't been seen since 2020, but there are usually like a few years in between sightings, so we might not have seen the last of this weird creature. So what is the Fresno / Yosemite / Billings / Polish Nightcrawler / Carmel area creature? Nobody really knows. Although there are some theories that range from like semi-realistic, like, oh, okay, I can see where people are getting that from, to just like kind of out there. So some people think that it might be a misidentified animal. So there are some people who think that it might be just like a kind of large bird that's walking around, or a deer standing upright, which just doesn't seem convincing based on the videos that I have watched of these. Some people think it might be like a new ape species because it does kind of walk like sort of how apes walk with their arms. Other people believe that it might be an alien, totally out of this world, or some sort of extraterrestrial pet. And then other people think that this whole thing is just a hoax, honestly. They think that it's either pants or a puppet on a wire, or a person just wearing really big pants. A YouTuber named Captain Disillusion made a fake video a couple years ago where he like walked down an alley holding a melon, and then he edited it, which is very hard to say. He edited it to remove the top half of his body to make a Fresno Nightcrawler looking creature, just to show like how easy it was to produce doctored and fake videos. Unsurprisingly, there are some people also that look to indigenous folklore, because Of course they do. But there really aren't any stories connecting it to indigenous folklore, especially from so many different locations across the United States and even into Poland. Like, there just wouldn't be a consistent creature like that could be found across so many different things with the same, like, very general description. So that is all I have for you today about the Fresno Nightcrawler slash Billings slash Yosemite slash Polish slash Carmel, Ohio creature. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, please consider subscribing or leaving a review or joining my Patreon. And remember, friends, history may be watching you, so don't fuck it up. And be careful of the woods. Bye!